one waits for me. Oh, I always few steps behind. My drum, it beats for me. Oh, I'll keep to my old time. My clock is borrowed, looking for the second chance. No more tomorrow. Now I take my stand. Now, 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 now. No past or future. Moment is our only time. Memories just paint a picture, trapped between a frame of mind, looking out to nowhere. Sea of endless crime. Guilt, it rubs my soul bare, regretful of the wasted time. Now, 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 now. Greetings, everyone. Peace, 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 everyone. This is Chief Yuya, for those of you who don't know. I just wanted to speak to you briefly. Right now, we're going through a very precious time for those of us who align ourselves with the Islamic community and support that original community in the original forms of Islam. And many of us know that you can pick different months when you choose to fast, but for many, this particular time period is a very sacred one, and it's an opportunity for us to do things and show our own courage to ourselves. And I wanted to just build with you all on that swiftly. There's a lot of times when we go through struggles, or especially if there's self-imposed struggles, or we go through different trials, we want everyone to know. We want everyone to know how much we suffer. Sometimes as parents, we want our children to know how difficult it was to have them, or to feed them, or to clothe them. And, especially remind them of that at times when they're not doing what we would prescribe for them to do. But, our personal struggles are just that. They are personal struggles. And for those of you who are going through this experience for maybe the first time or even the second time, do it with a solemn face. Do it with no grunting, with no grimacing. Do it with a smile, right? This is a beautiful opportunity for you to not only rid yourself of waste and strengthen your immune system, strengthen your own internal mettle and fortitude, and really confirm and affirm what it is that you know that you are made of, and how you can function, and the control that you have over your body. It's always a sad scene when you see pathologies and that the body is ruling over the head, or the consciousness has no access to the mind and has no access to the brain. It's always a very sad thing when our lower nature is controlling our very destiny and controlling our very fate. So having this time for us to commit and devote into us, into who we are and what we want to be is precious. And with that, I wanted to just, share that there's so many things that are happening new. And the way that the Most High is pouring out its spirit is unlike what people are accustomed to. And there are great quiet victories that are happening that don't need to be broadcasted. Right now, the mega churches have not been able to operate as they would have liked. And many other loud and big, even the radio broadcast channels are doing, virtual interviews and things like that, which they have to keep something going, but they're nowhere near as interesting as when people are in person. But, salaries have to continue to be paid and places have to continue to run. But what we're finding now is a lot of little small pockets, like this one, Chief Yuya, right? I don't have, I have a smidget of subscribers, at least on this channel. Combined on all the channels, there's a good amount. But on this channel, we're a little bit over 2,000. That's, in YouTube terms or social media terms, that's nothing. And it's about the same across all the platforms. So this is just a little small storefront, if you will, metaphorically speaking. But you're finding that in these very small places that you're getting prophetic truth that you were not and were never going to get in much larger environments. And you're seeing now, instead of these large environments and these large circuses and these large arenas where we were normally look for the greatest potency and potential of valued expression, whether it's, through words, through singing, music, art, whatever it is, it's just not coming from there at this point. It's coming from very small places that maybe only a loyal few are even aware of, right? And, I get that every day, right? Where have you been? Wow, you have so much stuff online. I never saw it before. And all of a sudden it was recommended to me. And I've been just feasting on your stuff. I watch 3 or 4 videos a day. I'm constantly listening to podcasts. You have so much, right? Where have you been all this time? Well, the first podcast went up around 2010, right? So that was 11 years ago. So been here, right? But the strengths that be sometimes want to keep certain things small, and that's cool, because a lot of times the things that are kept small are most potent. Imagine what a tablespoon of black seed oil can do, or a teaspoon even, or a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, right? So, or a jalapeno seed. So those mustard seeds have the potential to grow into very large constructions, natural constructions. And I say that to say I'm relating it to your experience that I'm sure a lot of you are going through right now. Keep it quiet. The world doesn't need to know that you may be struggling, because your great victories come and you'll be recognized by the community. That's going to happen. It happens. But you prove yourself in the quiet space. You prove yourself in the desert. You prove yourself in the wilderness. And that's where you get to prove yourself to yourself. Who am I? And the Most High will prove to you who you are in those quiet places, And sometimes you find yourself in the mix of wanting to be recognized so much that you start to do things that cause you to get recognized by those who would destroy you. They march you into the town on their shoulders, and you don't realize they're marching you to a crucifixion, They're marching you to burn you at the stake, or they're marching you to cannibalize you, you know, because you're looking for approval from the wrong places. You're looking for confirmation of your path, and you're trod to greatness from the wrong places, right? So what I shared earlier, it's just a little piece of something that I worked on, and still working on. And the name of it is just now, right? I went through an experience recently where I lost someone who was very dear to me. And the day it happened, well, I didn't lose the person. I lost the relationship because the relationship existed, on the human plane, on the physical plane. And that experience is no more other than what I hold in memory. So now I can only connect through this person spiritually until I get to where I'm going, and maybe we'll be at the same place, or maybe we'll crisscross or something like that. But they are no longer walking and struggling through the earth's soil. And the day it happened, the dawning it happened, I came home and I grabbed my guitar and just started singing the exact words you just heard, and that was my way of communicating with the person, right? I didn't get on my knees. I didn't light a candle to search for the spirit. The candle was already lit inside of me. I was already the Ina. I was on fire. And my music was the water, and the combination of those two was able to create a gas or steam or messianic steam gas that could rise up beyond where I could ever be, right? So that needed to happen, that friction of touching the metal strings and the wooden instrument, and then just bellowing out what I perceived that person was sharing with me. No one waits for me, right? Life is going to march on. And like I say there, I beat to my own drum. My clock is broken. Actually, I think I sung that line, my clock is borrowed, but it's supposed to be my clock is broken. But either one, it's fine. I don't care. But the point is that the clock that you're thinking I'm supposed to have, or maybe even the clock that I'm looking at on the wall, the batteries are dead, and I don't realize it. So I'm always moving at a time. I have to now move to my own rhythm. Whether it's a circadian and it's I'm moving by light and temperature, or whether it's a signature and a time beat that was passed down to me through my mother and father when they came together and created me. Whatever rhythm was that their heartbeats were beating in, and that moment that they synchronized and they conceived me, well, that's my rhythm, right? And no one knows it but me, because I can only hear that song in a quiet place, So that the little bit that I shared with you, there's more than I shared. I'm in the process of maybe sharing more going forward. Not maybe, I am going to be sharing more music in a different space, because when that person transitioned, that's what they threw into me. That component, that subdivision of me, the artist was reignited, and the last time that happened, I wrote solutions for dysfunctional family relationships when someone extremely close to me transitioned. So now this is where we're at, right? So why am I saying that? Why am I sharing that now, right? That mantra that we can maybe focus on over this time of supplication. Right now we're getting ready to go into our seventh day, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of recollect and rest And through resting, we detox. Just like when you sleep at night, you detox. Usually when you wake up in the dawning, the first thing you want to do is release some more. But we have this opportunity now in this time to really look at some things that we want to release, need to be released, and need to take on. And we could do it quietly. It doesn't need a social media post. It doesn't need a song either, either. But it doesn't need any big, great declaration. A lot of people around me who I know have been transitioning. Some very well known who have been celebrated and acknowledged globally, right? And then some who are locally recognized. It's all the same for me. I don't care if I know a person and they're considered a celebrity, or if they're just, Mama so-and-so or Baba so-and-so. It's the same. It's the same thing to me, because my experiences with people are usually in a quiet place. I'm usually pulled to the side, and after everybody leaves, then that's when we build. I'm one of them type. I don't speak much over the crowd. I let the crowd have its space, and then I wait till things quiet down. So I wanted to share that because we often think about David and the work that David did when he was able to defeat the Philistine giant Goliath. And we have all sort of stories around that, all sort of metaphors that are certainly quite valuable in our journey of coming into an understanding. But it's what's important that we remember is that prior to David slaying, as a child, slaying Goliath, he had already killed. If you read a little bit before, he killed a lion, and he also killed a bear. Okay, so, but when those things happened, he was alone. He didn't have the entire community around and afraid, and what's this little boy going to do? He's about to kill himself. He didn't have that sort of experience. He just had the confirmation from his Elohim, from his Yah. Like, this is what needs to happen. This is what you need me to do. All right, let's get it popping. So by the time he came to face Goliath, he had already had confirmation from within that I can do what I'm supposed to do. I am capable, you see. So a lot of times we want the world to know our victory. 2 more days to go, 3 more days to go. I got 5 days in, 10 days in, I didn't slip up. This, that. We want that kind of experience. But when you finally face your giant, you may not be as prepared as you think, because you haven't really faced the giant within that's seeking to take you out, or the giant within, Elohim, that's seeking to bring you up and to ascend you. And when you face, just like when Musa, you face that by yourself. When you face Elohim, it's, you face that alone. You see? So it's always advantageous to not only have a personal relationship, but don't shy away from personal rites of passage. Because I promise you, those personal rites of passage will get you to that point where you'll have your public notification if that's important to you. I don't study. I don't turn on a camera and start a live stream and start studying so you could see me study, to prove that look at all these hours I spend decoding and deciphering and looking at symbols, and look at this. Look at what I do. Right? So for all you know, I get on, I talk, and you probably think like, oh, he's just making it up. Because the time of proving, when my eyes are burning, I don't feel like doing it anymore. When my brain is splitting, when I know that there's a correlation between two different concepts, but I can't seem to find it, nor can I find any research material or anything that's been peer reviewed that's actually trustworthy that I can say this is right. But I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking through different libraries and I'm buying archives. Okay, I got to get access to this particular one and this and that. And, you know, you don't see all of that. That's all of the rite of passage that goes in private for me, to confirm to myself that, yeah, brother, you're a scholar. You are a scholar. So I don't have to go out into the community and say, you know, I'm a scholar. You see, the Goliaths come. And sometimes the Goliaths are someone asking a question in the midst of a speech I may be giving and trying to stump me or trying to take me down another road. But they don't realize I've been sharpening my teeth on this for 5 months now. So you just food in front of me right now. I just see food. I don't see a challenge, you know, and that's how you want to move. So even during this time of supplication and sacrifice, where you're making your body sacred through the imposition of your righteous and divine thought, you know, you give yourself these moments and offer yourself, you know, a moment to say, you know, not only am I making myself even more sacred and renewing that sacred bond that I have with my designer and renewing the sacred bond that I have or should have with the divinity of my maker, because they may not be the same. You know, sometimes what makes you and what creates you are two different things. But during that time that I'm doing that, I can enjoy being with myself. You know, one of the terms that I don't use, and I would advise you to maybe take a look at, is by myself. I'm never by myself, ever. Never, ever by myself. I spend a lot of time with myself, you know, and enjoying myself and enjoying my egbe or my spiritual community that's around me. But I'm never by myself, never alone. So you take this opportunity to really enjoy being with yourself. And when you emerge from it, when you exit out of the desert, when you exit out of the wilderness, don't be surprised if there is some temptation that comes, because often when you start to take control again of your own psyche, control again of your own physical frame and physical vessel, the vipers will come. The vipers will come, which is sometimes proof, most time proof you're doing the right thing. That's supposed to happen. The vipers are supposed to come, you know, and sometimes they'll capitalize on your response. You know, as you're going through, you may find yourself a little more irritable because the things that you are craving are the things that are poisoning you. So you're going through and you're looking at commercials and seeing things that you got no business eating, putting in your mouth. But you start a craving for those things. I promise you, those things that you crave are the poison. I promise you that. During this time, you're not going to crave elderberries. You're not. You're not going to crave celery. You're not going to crave squash. You're not even going to, as delicious as it is, you won't crave watermelon. You won't. Seeded watermelon. You won't crave anything like that. You're going to crave poison. You're going to crave cheese. You're going to crave that delicious char when you make jerk chicken and you got that char, that little bit of char there with the seasoning, you know, and you're going to crave that. You're going to crave, you know, grilled cheese or, you know, turkey sandwich or whatever it is. But whatever it is that you crave, that's your poison. So make a note of it, right? Because it's saying, where you going? Where do you think you're going? You go nowhere without me. We do this together, you know? So that's the vipers coming to strike you and pull you back into the pit. You know, so what you do, you'll find your heroism and your courage, and it may be in a quiet place, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, like the mantra of the song I just offered, now, I'm going to change now. If I don't like the person that I am, I'm going to correct that now. If there's something that I need to be doing in life, I'm going to do it now. Even if it's not perfect, off notes and all, I'm going to do it now. Because, like I said in the song, no more tomorrows. And that's what came into my head when that person made started their journey. No more tomorrows. Regretful of the wasted time. Imagine that. Imagine walking through the tunnel of light and going to the next point in the universe. And you'd say, man, I wasted time. Wow. It was given to me. The miracle of time. I was given the miracle of life. And then all this time, what did I do? What did I offer? What imprint have I left? Who have I touched? What divinity have I shared? How did I model my Creator? You see. So I just wanted to share that. Just remember, your Goliath will come, but your bear and your lion will come first. So that is your opportunity when to show your courage. All right. So I just want to encourage everyone to continue forward, continue to be strong, continue the mission and the vision forward, and enjoy this Sabbath with your family and your friends, and to all of my nation, our new nation, and the kingdom of Yah. I continue that we all, or I will that we continue to build strong, or we build strong families. And we take these moments now because there are master clocks. Some people think the only master clock you have is in your hypothalamus. But there's a clock outside of that. And based on our human construction of time, we would consider it to be broken because we only see it going in one direction. But it goes in many different directions that we can't even fathom. So instead of trying to figure it out, it's best just to move with spirit. You see? So that's what I will that you do in this season, that you move with spirit, and that you give yourself the opportunity and the pleasure and the grace of seeing how strong you can be and how beautiful you can create the mind in you. It's a neutral thing, and you can cultivate such beauty of it, or such ugliness, So that's all I wanted to share, and I respect you all, and I love a bunch of you, and I like a few of you. So as you go out today, protect someone, teach someone, and love someone. All right? Until such time, Chief Yuya. Peace.